is Andy. Hi, it's nice to meet you. And I am so excited to come here today with such a special group because each and every one of you is really special. You know that? You are. Every single one.
Across the nation, the opioid epidemic continues to devastate communities and families, with fentanyl taking a deadly toll. We've lost too many parents, children, relatives, and friends. All are children of God taken far too soon. The good news is there's hope. We've worked hard to boost access to treatment while also reducing the stigma around asking for help. We've made a lot of progress, but we still have a long way to go, and I'm confident we'll get there.
Tourism is essential to Kentucky. It's an industry filled with amazing leaders. It's an industry that brings joy to families across the world and across Kentucky, including my own. But it also brings good jobs. It boosts our economy, and it supports our local communities. We're not looking at the same Kentucky anymore. Thanks to the work of everyone here, we're welcoming people to our new Kentucky home, one filled with opportunity and prosperity. Kentucky is on that biggest economic winning streak we've ever been on. And today, we get to announce that the numbers are in, and 2023 was officially the best year in Kentucky's history for tourism's economic impact. From our strong bourbon distilleries to our small business owners who are investing in Kentucky, to our hotel clerks and our staffs at attraction and restaurants, this success is your success. Y'all are the people welcoming these travelers into our state, and you are helping them create unforgettable memories and keep them coming back to the Commonwealth. So I want to say thank you.
From going to work, driving your children to school or church, or going to see loved ones, Kentuckians deserve to get there and back home safely. This monumental project, four-laning the Mountain Parkway, a decades-old project that some said was impossible, but we're getting the job done. Because when we make a promise to the people of Kentucky, we see it through. That's the right thing to do. Good news for families Hello, everybody. I'm Andy. Welcome to this week's Team Kentucky Update. We start this week the way we always start, with good news about our red-hot economy here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Just this morning, the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority approved some fantastic new projects, including a couple of new location and expansion projects and more investment in build-ready, job-ready sites. Since the beginning of my administration, we've now announced a record 1,000 plus private sector new location and expansion projects, totaling a record $32.5 billion of new private sector investment in us in Kentucky. And we have now created more than 55,000 new jobs. After this morning's meeting, we are officially over that 55,000 jobs mark. This is amazing This is amazing. And the progress that we are creating is benefiting Kentuckians in every corner of the state. Today, 10 prospective new location and expansion projects were approved that have the potential for $324.4 million in additional private sector investment and would create another 479 jobs across the state. These initial approvals include Camco Chemical Company in Boone and Kenton counties. We'll talk about this in a minute because it's absolutely moving forward. Piramal Pharma Solutions in Fayette County. These would be some really good paying jobs. C.C. Clark Inc. in Warren County. Verst Group Logistics in Boone County. C&S Machine and Manufacturing Corporation in Oldham County. Divine Spirits LLC in Bourbon County. Health Track RX in Jefferson County. Nearbridge LLC in Madison County. Castle and Key Distillery in Woodford County, and RidgeNet Network Group LLC in Pulaski County. Now, today we want to talk more in depth about one of these that is ready to fully accept and move forward with the program. Camco Chemical Company is a custom manufacturer of products for the food and beverage industry, as well as agriculture and the consumer goods sector. They're expanding their Northern Kentucky operations. They're making a $3 million investment that will make upgrades to the company's facility and equipment. It'll create 30 new jobs, bringing their total Kentucky workforce to 150 workers. Our strong economy is not possible without established businesses like Camco. And I always say that the new locations are exciting, but when there's an expansion, it means the company knows us and trusts us, sees our workforce, and is making that investment knowing that it will pay off. One of the best examples I can ever give to a new company is the number of expansions that one that's been with us for a while have done. I want to congratulate Camco's leadership, and I look forward to the company's continued success in the Commonwealth. And as we announce projects like this, or as we announce new locations, the great part is there is a new company with new jobs. The part that we don't think about is there's one less site for the next company and the next one and the next one. And so what we've got to do is continue to invest to make sure we can land the next opportunity and the one after that. We do that with our job ready, build ready site improvement efforts. So today, Lyon County was approved $2 million in state funding through our Job Ready, Site Ready program. The city of Eddyville, on behalf of the Eddyville Riverport and Industrial Development Authority, plans to construct a spec building in the Eddyville Industrial Park. This site is part of something we're seeing more and more, a regional application where multiple counties come together and say, well, even if the site is in your county, we know it will employ people from ours. We are seeing more cooperation from our county judges, more cooperation from our mayors, more regional applications, movement and cooperation than I've ever seen before in Kentucky, and it is absolutely paying off. This site was a regional project that included Caldwell, Crittenden, Livingston, Lyon, and Trigg, and it received approval in June of 2023 for an initial $34,715 in state funding that we are adding to today. In May of 2023, we announced the location had received Build Ready certification, so this is already taking a good site. putting that spec building on it, and meaning the jobs will and can come that much faster or more quickly. This investment in Lyon County is the latest evidence of our commitment to continued economic prosperity and for it to reach every corner and every county in the Commonwealth. For the first time that I can remember, jobs are locating in places around Kentucky where we didn't always see them locate before. Jobs are coming to people instead of expecting people to drive 1 or 2 hours to get to those jobs. Finally, on Monday, I joined local officials and leadership from Commercial Specialty Truck Holdings to celebrate a groundbreaking of the company's new manufacturing facility in Cynthiana. This is a $28 million project that is going to create a state-of-the-art facility and ensure the 300 plus employees that they have in Cynthiana alone continue for the decades to come. CSTH has outgrown its existing manufacturing operations as consumer and industry demand have increased. It was great to see this company. One of the names they operate under is Easy Pack. And so when you're driving around the country or around the Commonwealth and you see a garbage truck or a cement mixer come past you, look and see if it's Easy Pack, because if it is, we make it right here in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, or at least parts of that vehicle. I look forward to continued growth from this company, and it was great to be in Cynthiana and Harrison County to celebrate this win. Okay, now we're going to talk about the hurricane about to hit Florida and how it will have an impact here in Kentucky. Hurricane Helene is currently a Category 2 storm, and it's expected to strengthen further, reaching Category 3 or maybe even 4 before it makes landfall in the United States. Due to increasing severity of the storm, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and now even Virginia have all declared states of emergency. The impacts of this storm should be taken seriously, and I encourage everyone in Kentucky to be weather aware of what we're going to see in the coming days. As of now, we expect the remnants of the hurricane to begin affecting Kentucky this evening, and especially into Friday, but rain may continue all the way through Sunday and accumulate in various places. It will bring heavy rains, very strong winds, the potential for severe storms, especially across eastern and southern regions of the state. But let me just say where the hurricane is going to make landfall has even changed over the past, say, 12 hours, where in Florida. And there are different models where it could impact more central Kentucky or more western Kentucky. So we need to be weather aware and watching our local news, looking at social media. Emergency management will continue to push out forecasts, certainly over the next 48 hours. In these conditions, having access to reliable information is critical. I encourage everyone to have a weather radio on hand. They are essential tools for staying informed, particularly during power outages or when cell service is disrupted. As we prepare for heavy rains, it's important to remember the dangers of flooding. Just 6 inches of fast-moving water can knock over an adult. 12 inches can carry away most vehicles. If you encounter a flooded road, turn around. It's not worth it. Wherever you're trying to get to is absolutely not worth it. We care about you. We've lost too many people in flooding and tornadoes, to a pandemic, to senseless acts of violence. We don't want to lose one more Kentuckian. We want to prevent every single one of those injuries or harm. And we don't want to have to send brave first responders, many of which we have in this room today for some awards that are coming up, out into harm's way if we don't need to. So it's always that turn around, wait it out, make sure you don't cross a flooded roadway. For those living in low-lying or flood-prone areas, please take extra precautions. Have an emergency plan in place and ensure you know the safest routes to higher ground. Our search and rescue teams stand by ready to respond should the situation escalate. I have not declared a state of emergency, and right now the forecast doesn't necessitate it, but we will be watching very closely and will be willing to take additional steps should we need to. I want to thank our professionals who are ready to respond and who act quickly during emergencies. They work closely with state, and local law enforcement, our emergency management officials, and community organizations to ensure the safety of our citizens. We owe them a great deal of thanks for their dedication and for their bravery, because they are always there when we need them the most. Safety starts with each of us. Follow any evacuation orders. Avoid flooded areas and just be extra cautious. Our goal is while we'll be at the tail end of all this, let's make sure we don't lose one person to this hurricane. Let's try to make sure we don't have one injury due to this hurricane. We have weathered so many storms before, and we've become very weather aware. And because of that, I think we've made it through many of these where we might have otherwise lost people we love and care about. So let's make sure that we don't get tired of being ready and being prepared, and we'll make it through this one as well. Eric, did you want to comment first? Okay. So the next piece was planned long before today's news of another storm, but goes right along with it. That's about my buddy. Those of you who watched our daily and sometimes twice daily Team Kentucky updates during the height of the pandemic know the integral role that my good friend, the late Virginia Moore, played in helping us to get through it and to get through it together. She made sure that the more than 700,000 deaf and hard of hearing Kentuckians received the information they needed to stay safe. And when devastating tornadoes struck Western Kentucky in December of 2021, and when that flooding hit Eastern Kentucky in July of 2022, Virginia and her team, consisting of Rachel and Rachel, were right here with me, ensuring everyone remained aware of the risks associated with those natural disasters and that all Kentuckians had equal access to the information to keep them safe. Sadly, we lost Virginia in May of last year, but her tireless advocacy on behalf of those who are deaf and hard of hearing and the lasting impact that she had on that entire community and on our entire country lives on. So with September being both National Preparedness Month and Deaf Awareness Month, it's fitting that we announce a new weather preparedness program named in her honor. As Kentuckians know all too well, severe weather can strike at any hour, and the most dangerous time is when people are sleeping. The deaf and hard of hearing community is particularly vulnerable during this time since they cannot hear the various alarms and severe weather sirens upon which most of us rely. Through the newly and appropriately named More Safe Nights program, that is more with an E, 700 free weather alert radios specifically adapted for individuals who are deaf and hard of hearing are available at no cost, thanks to a partnership between the Kentucky Commission on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing and the Kentucky Division of Emergency Management. Equipped with pillow shaker and strobe light attachments, these weather radios, which we're going to show you in a second, are designed to alert people who are deaf and hard of hearing of severe weather in their area so they can take shelter to protect themselves and their families. Any Kentucky resident who is deaf or hard of hearing is eligible to receive one of these free weather radios, which are available on a first-come, first-served basis. With us today is Eric Gibson, our Kentucky Emergency Management Director, Virginia's widow, Ro Holloway, and someone you don't often see up here, but you always see, but you don't necessarily always hear from, Rachel Morgan. Rachel is accompanied by Anita Dowd, Executive Director of the Kentucky Commission on the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. If y'all would all join us to offer a few thoughts. Come on up. We can fit everybody. Who's first? Anita?
Thank you. Thank you, Deb.
You are very welcome.
Wow. You know, we're so grateful to Virginia and former KYEM Director Flinker for creating the vision of this program, and grateful to current Director Gibson and his team for keeping that vision alive. It's been a true honor to be able to partner with them and bring it to life. As one of the 700,000 Kentuckians with hearing loss and mama to 2 daughters with hearing loss, I can personally attest to how profound the impact will be from this program. For people like myself who can't access information through auditory channels, we often depend on our other senses to keep us aware. In a way, our eyes become our ears. And when we close our eyes and go to sleep, that access to awareness is gone. These radios have 2 attachments. One is a small strobe light that can be attached to the wall. It can be attached to the bed frame that will flash really bright in the dark. The second one is a small vibrating device called a pillow shaker that can be attached to the pillow or put under the pillow. And those 2 attachments work together to wake us up. So then we know we can check the display on the radio that will tell us exactly what's happening, and we'll know the appropriate action to take. So we're really grateful and thankful. This program really has a huge impact on us. It's a game changer. It ensures that we're informed and we can stay safe. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's made this happen, your hard work and your dedication, because it truly is appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Colin.
Very welcome.
Hello. I worked with Virginia Moore for many years. To know her was to love her. She spent her entire life working for the inclusion and protection of deaf and hard of hearing individuals in Kentucky. And I know that she would be so proud to know that this is happening, and for the work that we are continuing to do. She would also want me to say that we are very grateful to our governor, who always makes sure that there is inclusion and equity in our community. We're very grateful to that. And in the words of our governor, on the hands of our beloved Virginia, we will get through this together. And so, thank you.
Ditto what they said, and I'm just very touched to see her legacy carried on. This was her passion. And I'm glad that her memory is still alive as she continues to serve people in Kentucky. And very grateful to the governor for including me in things like this. So I know she's still here.
Well, Eric Gibson with Kentucky Emergency Management, and we're just honored to be able to partner with the Kentucky Commission for this project. Director Slinker had this as one of his top priority items when we transitioned, and it's truly good to see something actually come to a good conclusion. This project was funded through EMP, or Emergency Management Preparedness dollars, CSEP dollars, things that we can do that can help our community be more prepared. And this is, a fitting tribute to the work that Ms. Moore done. And to be able to name a project after her that will reach the community that she served isn't actually, I think it's, it's one of those preparedness measures as we look at the face of this hurricane and talk about, just went through the governor spoke about having your weather radio aware, making sure that you know what to do and have a plan. And that plan is having a good weather radio. And we don't want to leave out anybody in our communities. And so as we look to get ready for this next event, it wasn't necessarily planned to be revealed on the day that we were going to start talking about a hurricane, but as it worked out, it did. So we're actually going to hopefully get these things out in those communities. There's going to be a system set up where they'll be distributed, and we'll try to reach everyone that needs one of these. But it's just a great fitting project, and it's one that should carry on, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. Like I said, for this event that's coming up, it's one of those things that you do need to have. If you've got one, be prepared to be aware for any alert that comes out for this event. As the governor spoke of very well, this event is changing as time comes. We're getting updated forecasts. We just got a new update from the Weather Service just before this went on. And we're continuing to see the forecast change as it goes and where it's going to actually model. But our team at KYM is planning to be in the office. They'll have the Emergency Operations Center open. We'll be watching out for these weather alerts. We're going to have swiftwater teams available. They're already been alerted. We have air assets available. So if the need does arise, we are ready to serve the Commonwealth. Thank you very much, and I'm glad to be a part of this project. Thank you for letting me continue it.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, thank you. While only 700 radios are available under this initial funding, KYEM and all of us will seek additional funds to try to make sure one of these is available for absolutely everyone who needs them. To apply online, visit the Kentucky Commission on Deaf and Hard of Hearing's website, which should be on the screen, or call the phone numbers that are also going to come up on the screen. That's okay. We like seeing Virginia's picture that much more. Those numbers are 1-800-372-2907 or 502-416-0607. We'll make sure all of that is in the press release that will come out. We'd ask members of the press to try to get that out there, so members of the community will see how to apply. I hope we get all 700 out very quickly. I think Virginia would have loved this program, given how we met and how she changed the world so much at the beginning of one emergency that we didn't know would last as long as it did. But very proud of Rachel and Anita for helping to see it through, along with KYEM. Virginia has a legacy for service that is living on with new programs that have even come about after we lost her. But you know, the body may be mortal, the soul's eternal. I know she's here. I know she's proud of us. I know she probably has something she thinks we should do better, and we'll have to figure out what that is. I'll always remember Virginia for a number of things. Most people would think it's what happened up here, but every day when I left, the updates, I'd go back to my office, I'd review any new information we had, and then I'd walk home, going to see my family. And every day, Virginia would be sitting outside, working with other individuals to make sure the information got out to those who needed it. And every day she'd look at me and say, I hope you're okay and take care of yourself. That's pretty special. That's who she was, looking out for everybody else, including me. All right, next we're going to move to community wildfire grants. While we're seeing stormy weather this week with rain that we admittedly need, though we sometimes get too much of it all at the same time, we're actually experiencing a drought and a significant drought across Kentucky. In fact, on Monday, a level 1 drought declaration was issued for the Commonwealth. Precipitation over the past 2 months has been spotty and has resulted in drought conditions. In some areas, the drought has affected agricultural water needs, and it's increased the risk of wildfires. Today, thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law, I'm announcing $748,440 in community wildfire defense grants to provide assistance for wildfire preparedness and risk reduction projects for several of our communities. These three recipients competed among 534 applications nationwide. First up, Laurel County has the highest wildfire hazard potential of any county in the state, and more than 70% of all counties nationally. Officials there requested funds to develop a community wildfire protection plan to improve wildfire preparedness and decrease overall risk, focusing on fire districts for education and preparedness. Today, we're awarding $248,900 to the Laurel County Fiscal Court. County Judge Executive David Westerfield has joined us to accept it. Come on up, Judge. There it is. I want to give you the right check. Congratulations. There you go. You want to grab that side? All right. You want to say a word?
I'd love to. As I was sitting back there a while ago, I was thinking about the word support and what it means to us. You know, we just went through an active shooting incident in Laurel County. And the governor called me instantly as quick as that started and offered support. And, you know, I've been to this room here many times to receive checks, but nothing meant more to me than when the governor showed up to help us and support us. So, Governor, I just want to take time to say thank you for doing that for
I
us.
appreciate you.
And this check here, we hope to do great things in Laurel County with this monies. Hopefully we can make our community safer, less fire hazards in our county. So we're going to use this wisely and try to help our whole county. And again, Governor, thank you for this as
Thank
well.
you.
We appreciate
Thank
you
you.
for everything you do.
I appreciate your leadership. Harlan County completed a community wildfire protection plan in the fall 2016 fire season, which burned over 11,000 acres along Pine Mountain. Today, we're awarding $250,000 to the Harlan Fire Department to update the plan and complete risk assessment at the home parcel level. Harlan City Fire Department Wildlife Management Director Kelly Michaels and Harlan City Fire Department Chief James Billings have joined us today. Come on up, gentlemen. Here's $250,000. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you. Yeah, let's turn around this way. All right. You want to say a word about how you're going to use it?
Can you bring the money?
All right. Then I'll let you hold the money.
You hold the money, Chief. You get to sign for it.
All right.
Good afternoon. I'm Kelly Michaels. I'm the Director of Wildfire Management, City Harlan Fire Department in Harlan County in southeastern Kentucky. I'm joined by Chief James Billings, who has been an utmost wonderful support for this grant in this period. What we plan on doing is we want to mitigate the threat, take away some of that threat to not only help our communities inside of Harlan, but hopefully be a model to the rest of the communities in our county and the rest of the counties in our state. Not only do we want to take away the risk of wildfire for our citizens and their homes, but we also want to reduce the risk to firemen in our communities and our homes, because these people are the ones that are out there at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon that are fighting these fires. So again, we want to appreciate the state government, our wonderful governor, the city of Harlan, our council, and all of you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Finally, the Kentucky River Area Development District's proposal covers the counties of Breathitt, Knott, Lee, Leslie, Letcher, Owsley, Perry, and Wolf. Today, we're presenting $249,540 to the district to assist each county in developing a community wildfire protection plan. Chance Clare, Regional Disaster Coordinator, and Jennifer McIntosh, Associate Director of Community and Economic Development, have joined us today. If y'all please come and accept the check. Congratulations. Y'all make us proud. Congratulations. You come on this side? Yes, sir. Please. All right. Somebody want to say a few words?
Hi, I'm Chance Clare, Regional Disaster Coordinator at CRAD. With the flooding of July of 2022, we have experienced quite a few disasters here in Eastern Kentucky in our area development district. We're going to take this money and work with our 8 counties and develop a great plan to mitigate some wildfire protection and try our best to protect our citizens of our ad district. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. On Tuesday, the fall wildfire hazard season begins. The Commonwealth's outdoor burning law prohibits burning between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. local time if the fire is within 150 feet of any woodland, brushland, or fields containing dry grass or other flammable material. These restrictions are in effect until December the 15th. Last year, Kentucky experienced 1,144 fires with 48,418 acres burned. We want to do everything we can to make sure we don't see the same this year. And as many know, for the first time in our history, the General Assembly limited
the amount of dollars that the Commonwealth can use to fight wildfires. In the past, there was a certain amount issued, but we all reasonably said, okay, well, you got to fight the next fire. So we were allowed to use our rainy day fund. That is no longer the case. So once we hit that limit, we'll either have to call a special session or I guess the General Assembly, we'll have to call a special session because we will make sure that we do everything we can to keep all of our people safe. Thank you to everyone out there who keeps us safe. Thank you for those who put in these applications. Again, this is about moving our Commonwealth forward together. And like so many important things, fighting wildfires isn't about right or left. It's about moving forward and doing better for our people. Today, we also have more great news for our neighbors in Western Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky who are affected by the devastating tornadoes and floods. One thing I'm proud of our state is we're now 2 years past each of these natural disasters, but we are still here rebuilding. We're still here finding new dollars. We're still here making sure that we don't stop until the job is done. And that's not just me and the executive branch. That is all of our local officials. That's all the nonprofits. I mean, the love that we saw right afterwards that we often see, we've seen continue in important and special ways to lift our people back up, get them on their feet. And not only that, but make sure that our communities are rebuilt better than before. My administration today is announcing approval of 5 new awards from our SAFE funds. This stands for State Aid for Emergencies. Today's awards total more than $9.8 million, all to help communities recover financially from these natural disasters. From the Western Kentucky SAFE Fund, we've approved more than $1 million for the Muhlenberg County Fiscal Court. And from the Eastern Kentucky SAFE Fund, we've approved $500,000 for the city of Buckhorn, $1.5 million for the city of Hazard, more than $1.5 million for Perry County, and more than $5.2 million for the Letcher County Board of Education. So today, we have Letcher County School Superintendent Denise Yance with us to accept this award and to say a few words. Denise, thank you for your dedication to your school district. And let me just say thank you to all public educators and what you do each and every day. $5.2 million.
Thank you.
Okay. It's like we're each holding 2.6. No, I did that back wrong. No, I did it right. I did it right.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to help with mine.
First, I want to say thank you to the governor and Team Kentucky. All of Kentucky has have worked together to make it possible for Letcher County schools to come back after the flood. This money will help us complete our renovations of the 9 different facilities that were impacted greatly during that flood. 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, Governor Beshear stood in our emergency management center in Letcher County Central High School and promised me that we were in this together. And he has been in this with us ever since. And today will allow us to complete those projects for our students. Students in Letcher County are bright and talented and as capable as any students across the Commonwealth and across the world. And since the flood, we've seen their perseverance, resilience, and grit. And this will allow us to give them every opportunity to demonstrate that to all of Kentucky and all of the world. Thank you.
You're very welcome. No, we appreciate you. Thank you to Denise and all the district's employees for what you do. Listen, they work hard and they deserve the best. They deserve our support. What they don't deserve and shouldn't have to put up with is disinformation or misinformation. They are public servants doing their very best each and every day. And when you know something is false, you shouldn't spread it. That's something I was taught when I was young, that you got to make sure that what you're saying is accurate. And when it's not, even if you did it mistakenly at first, you take it back. So thank you to the school district. Hazard Mayor Happy Mobilini and Perry County Judge Scott Alexander also had some things to say about the impacts of these awards. The mayor said without the SAFE funds, the city of Hazard would not be able to operate as usual. Over the past 2 years, the SAFE fund has really allowed us to maintain as we work on our infrastructure and keep the city going. The judge said the East Kentucky SAFE fund has kept our city and has helped our county and the city of Buckhorn help keep them going when we didn't see a way possible to keep our government open. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, legislators, and thank you, Team Kentucky. My final thank you is to the General Assembly that appropriated these dollars. We asked for it in certain ways. It ended up coming out fine in a way that we could work with. We appreciate the appropriations, and I know that they've been used to help these communities lift themselves back up and to move forward. All right, next, an update on the medical cannabis program. Since taking office, my administration's been committed to provide access to health care and create safe communities for all Kentuckians. Over a year ago, I signed Senate Bill 47, which legalizes medical cannabis in the Commonwealth beginning January of 2025. That's coming really soon. Knowing that patients need access to life-changing medication sooner rather than later, our administration we wanted to make sure we were capable of issuing licenses this year. So we worked with the General Assembly, primarily Senator West, who has worked really hard on this, worked really well with us, was not able to make it today, but was certainly invited. And I signed House Bill 829 in April. They didn't fix all the challenges, but fixed as many as Senator West could get fixed and get through the General Assembly. The bill took the important step of moving up the timeline for cannabis business licensing by a full 6 months. As a result, the program can begin issuing business license in 2024 instead of 2025. And after an incredible interest from the business community, that's exactly what we are doing today. After receiving almost 5,000 applications, I'm proud to announce that today, Kentucky will be issuing its first medical cannabis business license. This license will go to a lab, which is a category that doesn't have a limit and thus does not have a lottery. The very first license for this program, it goes to KCA Labs, a hemp testing lab currently operating in Nicholasville. It'll be the Commonwealth's first medical cannabis business licensee. KCA Labs is a safety compliance facility. These facilities are responsible for testing every medical cannabis product before it gets to a Kentucky cardholder. Our mission is to ensure Kentuckians with serious medical conditions have access to safe and high-quality tested medical cannabis products. As the Commonwealth's first licensed medical cannabis business and laboratory, that's exactly what KCA is going to help us do. I love that the first license is going to an entity that helps us do this safely. Our Office of Medical Cannabis has established strict regulations, and the safety compliance facilities like KCA will guarantee all Kentucky cannabis is held to the highest medical standards. So now, I'd like to invite Office of Medical Cannabis Executive Director Sam Flynn and Jonathan Thompson, CEO of KCA Labs, up for the presentation of the first medical cannabis license. Come on. Gentlemen, congratulations on this milestone. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. We are so excited about the opportunity to be part of Kentucky's medical cannabis program, and we are thrilled to accept the first license. I want to thank you and the Office of Medical Cannabis for your hard work and leadership in this program. In particular, I want to thank you for setting up this licensing process, which has been seamless. I also want to thank the Office of Medical Cannabis for working with businesses like ours step by step as we navigated through this process. Kentucky-owned KCA Labs has been performing regulatory and safety testing in the hemp industry since 2019. As of September 2024, KCA had over 2,000 customers and clients across almost every state, and including 30 other countries. With more than 100 years of combined experience in analytical testing in USDA, FDA, and DEA regulated industries, KCA's vast knowledge and experience with testing hemp products will transfer over neatly into Kentucky's new medical cannabis program. With many of the same testable substances, KCA is poised to bring its industry-wide reputation, expertise, quality, and impartiality to give the program's licensees reliable and dependable compliance data, while also confirming that the businesses are meeting the state's important safety requirements for medical cannabis products. Again, we are thrilled to be part of the program, and we look forward to working with the governor and the Office of Medical Cannabis to ensure the program provides the highest quality products to Kentucky's card holders. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you to KCA Labs. We are excited about how you're going to be a big part of this program, and we wish you success moving forward. Next, I'm excited to share some news about Kentucky's medical cannabis lottery for cultivators and processors. We have set a date of Monday, October 28th, 2024, for those license lotteries. That's cultivators and processors. So applicants for cultivator tiers 1, 2, and 3, and applications for processors will be informed the week prior whether they are approved for the license lottery, If approved, those applications will be included in the appropriate license lottery on October 28th. Those lotteries will be held by the Kentucky Lottery Corporation in Louisville and will be live streamed so Kentuckians can tune in and follow along, but there won't be any ping pong balls. I want to make sure everybody knows that ahead of time. When we launched the program, our mission was to ensure that Kentuckians suffering from cancer, multiple sclerosis, veterans suffering from PTSD, and so many others had access to safe and affordable medical cannabis. Today, we're taking another big step towards it. The last group, dispensaries, we're going to announce the date of that lottery at a later date. It will be likely in November. The reason we're holding off on naming a date is I'm hoping I can beat, or we can beat, or Sam Flynn can beat the projected date that we're looking at. They're making great progress. And as we talked about earlier, we had so many dispensary applications that we brought on new people to help get through them. And we've got to do it right, and we've got to do it well. And you only do something the first time once. And so in an effort to ensure that we have the full confidence of Kentuckians, knowing that we promise them a safe medical cannabis operation and also a fair process of who is in it when it starts, we're going to wait to announce that date. But again, likely in November. I hope it's earlier in November than some of the projected dates, but Sam's working really hard on it. And kudos to Sam Flynn and that entire office. You all have done incredible work. All right, and finally, to our team, Kentucky All-Stars. This morning, I had the chance to speak with leaders from all of Kentucky's health departments at their annual retreat. It brought me back to 4 years ago when we're facing a global pandemic, trying to figure out how to keep our people safe in a dangerous time. When Team Kentucky needed healthcare heroes, they put their own fear aside and they stepped up and saved lives. They helped more than 3 million Kentuckians to get their shot of hope. Each one a beloved child of God, irreplaceable to their loved ones. So many Kentuckians are alive today because of their hard work and their dedication. For decades, our health departments have been working together to tackle some of the most challenging threats to our people and to our families. Many of their most important successes are things that don't end up happening. The people who don't get sick or injured, the accidents and outbreaks that are prevented, the kids who don't fall through the cracks because somebody's watching out for them. Those successes can be hard to measure, but we all know they matter. As governor, I believe that access to high quality healthcare is a basic human right. And folks like these work to expand healthcare access for our people daily. That's why today I was proud to proclaim this week, September 23rd through the 27th, as Local Public Health Champions Week. And now I'm proud to name them our Team Kentucky All-Stars. All right, with that, we'll open it up to questions. We have 2 journalists here with us and 3 to 4 on the line. So we'll start with Tom Latek.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. What's the date, or can they obtain now those special weather radios?
Right now, the process of requesting them is open and available. And I want to thank everybody who's worked to make that happen. Remember, there are 700 of them now. And I'll say this, the faster they go, the more protected people are going to be. And it will also give us a great argument to get out there and to get more funding. Saying that 700 of them going this quickly shows how much they're needed. What we need is to effectively communicate to the individuals in the community that these are ready and available. And as you saw, easy to use. Karen Czar.
Governor, a couple of years ago when the floods hit Eastern Kentucky, you said one of your priorities was going to be make sure that when you rebuild the infrastructure, especially underground piping and things that were destroyed, that it would be even stronger. Is that area prepared for another hit?
We are building back stronger. And it seems like every natural disaster that comes towards us right now is coming to the same places that have already been through them. I mean, it seems like every large tornado heads towards Dawson Springs or Mayfield, and it's not fair and it's really hard on those individuals. I mean, the folks that live in Barnsley, it hit the same corner, the last F3 that the F4 hit before. But you know what was available there? The Red Cross had put in some shelters that people were able to get in and ride out the storm between those two. So yes, we're building back bigger and stronger, but it takes time. And so, yes, I have concerns as we are still installing that infrastructure, especially water and sewer infrastructure, which takes a significant amount of time to get in to get right. Right now, we think that we will see flash flooding. We hope that we won't see widespread flooding. The models at the moment don't show anything like what happened in 2022, but that wasn't expected to be at that full level either. And so I hope the lesson we take out of it as we are building back stronger, certainly the bridges that we've put up can sustain what's coming, can sustain just about anything thrown at them. But there's still a lot to do. So people shouldn't have a false sense of safety that we just need to be prepared. We need to make sure that everybody's watching the weather. And when it says, maybe I should wait an hour to go here or to go there, that they do so. But again, one of the most important things is if you get an evacuation order, go. If there's water over the road, don't cross it. One of the simplest, but one of the most important things. I know the stories, I've seen the pictures, and I've met the families of some who were unfortunately swept away and are no longer with us. And each and every one of those families would tell you it's not worth it, and they want your loved one to come home safe. All right, next we got Stan Ingold from WEKU.
Thank you, Governor. There's reports that you issued a letter to Letcher County Sheriff Steins to resign by Friday. So if you could elaborate on that, and then also explain the process for filling the soon-to-be 2 vacant positions in Letcher County.
So every Kentucky county needs an active and a working sheriff. I mean, one of the most important roles of state government is to provide safety to our people. And right now, Letcher County doesn't have an active and a working sheriff. The facts that we all know, regardless of motive, which will be determined through the criminal investigation, show that the current sheriff can't continue in that role. And what I'm trying to do is to get Letcher County a sheriff that can be active as quickly as possible. That happens the fastest if the current sheriff resigns. I hope he will. We set a deadline of tomorrow. If he doesn't, there is a removal process that the governor is able to start. We've never done it before during my administration. It's not been done, I think, in at least several decades. It looks like it will take about 6 months, even at the fastest that it can go. But it's important that we say it's not a criminal trial. It's about determining under certain statutes whether removal is appropriate. And we already know enough facts to know that removal is appropriate. Again, that doesn't comment on the ultimate charges that will be decided through a criminal court. It just says that Letcher County needs a sheriff and needs one as soon as possible. Gil McClanahan.
Hi, Governor. I hope you're doing okay. I had another question regarding the Letcher County situation that I follow up on what the guy before me asked. What are you going to do about naming a judge to replace the judge that was shot?
Yeah, so that's the second half of the last question. Thank you, Gil. So I don't appoint sheriffs. So when I'm requesting this resignation, it's so that the county judge executive can appoint that sheriff. I do ultimately appoint judges when there is a vacancy, though it goes through a process where I name some, but not all members of a group that then send me a list of, I think it is 3 names. We are in the process of naming our members to it. The challenge here in this one, and we need to get it right, is it's a small community. And because it's a small community, this is torn at the very heart of the community. It hurts, and you can see and feel the trauma from people I know well. So we've got to find the right people in the community, because the district judge, the seat is just that county. So we need to find the right folks that haven't been impacted in ways that would prevent or preclude service on it. And so that's where we are right now. We want to get them a district judge. We want to do it as soon as we can, but knowing the trauma that the community's gone through, that's the most important thing to address right now. The Chief Justice can assign other judges and even retired judges to help with that workload in the interim. And it's the Chief Justice that I work with to ultimately get this panel together. And then he actually sits on it. It's currently it will soon be she, with Deborah Lambert becoming our first female Chief Justice. So congratulations to her. But that's how the process works. Lachlan McLean from Spectrum.
Yeah, thank you, Governor. One more follow-up on the Letcher County situation. Have you been given any indication that he plans to resign? And if not, you said it could take months to formally remove him. How do you fill that position in the interim?
So I can't, well, first of all, I don't fill that position, but it's the county judge. The county judge can't officially fill that position until the current sheriff either resigns or is removed. And the process of removal takes a hearing. It takes certain evidence. Now, there's more than enough evidence out there for removal. Again, that's not commenting on the criminal trial, but for removal. I haven't received any indication back. The letter was only provided yesterday. And my hope is that by the end of tomorrow, we will receive a resignation and can move forward. Great. Next up, we have Lisa Autry. Oh, okay. Next up, we do not have Lisa Autry. That is, I believe, the end of our questions. We are not going to have a Team Kentucky update next week, because I think we're going to be out there making some good news during that period of time. So we will see you back 2 weeks from today. Thank y'all.